Imagine a city, bathed in golden light. Florence, the heart of the Renaissance. Art and science blossomed here. Da Vinci, Michelangelo, their genius reshaped our world. But beneath this glittering surface, shadows danced. Intrigue, betrayal, power plays unfolded daily. A city of breathtaking beauty and terrifying ambition. This was the crucible that forged a unique mind, a mind that would dissect power itself. The Arno River flowed through Florence, a silver ribbon witnessing all. It saw grand cathedrals rise. It heard the whispers of conspirators in darkened alleys. Palaces of wealthy merchants stood proud, symbols of immense influence and targets for rivals. This city was a paradox, a vibrant contradiction, light and dark, order and chaos. His name, Niccolò Machiavelli. Machiavelli observed, he listened, he learned. From the chaos, he distilled a chilling truth, a truth that still resonates, still disturbs. He wrote it down. For a prince, for posterity, it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. These words, stark, uncompromising, they cut through centuries of accepted wisdom, a challenge to the very foundations of leadership. What did he mean? This Florentine thinker, was he advocating for tyranny, for cruelty? Not precisely, he was a pragmatist. Love, he argued, is a fickle bond. Fear, however, is different. Fear is a more reliable motivator. Niccolò di Bernardo dei Machiavelli, born in Florence, May 3, 1469, a city already humming with Renaissance energy. His family was old, respected, but not wealthy, not part of the ruling elite. This gave him a unique perspective, an outsider looking in, observing the intricate dance of power, learning from a young age. His father, Bernardo, was a lawyer, a man of books. He ensured Niccolò received a good education, a humanist education steeped in the classics. Livy, Cicero, the great Roman historians and thinkers. Machiavelli devoured their works. He learned about republics. In 1498, a new chapter began for Machiavelli. The Florentine Republic needed capable men. He entered public service. At age 29, second chancellor, secretary to the Ten of War, important roles, demanding roles. He was a diplomat, an administrator, traveling across Italy and beyond to France, to the court of the Holy Roman Emperor. He met kings, popes, generals. These missions were his true education. He saw power wielded up close. He negotiated with Cesare Borgia, a ruthless, ambitious warlord, the son of Pope Alexander VI. Borgia carved out a state through force and cunning. Machiavelli watched him, fascinated, appalled. He saw Borgia's effectiveness, his audacity. The fall of the Republic was a personal disaster. For Machiavelli, it meant more than job loss. In 1513, he was accused of conspiracy against the Medici. He was arrested, imprisoned, even subjected to torture. The rack he endured. He denied the charges. Eventually he was released, but his life was forever changed. He retreated to his small farm, Sant'Andrea in Pecucina, outside Florence, an exile, removed from the corridors of power. The world he knew, the world he understood, was now closed to him. His days were spent in mundane tasks. His evenings, however, were different. He shed his dusty farm clothes, he donned the robes of a courtier, and entered his study, his sanctuary. It was not a typical book of advice. It was a revolutionary guide that broke away from the traditional teachings of morality and virtue that were prevalent during its time. Instead of focusing on the idealistic and often unattainable standards of leadership, it delved into the raw and unfiltered realities of political power. It did not speak of lofty ideals. It did not concern itself with the noble aspirations that many other works of its era did. It was not about the pursuit of a utopian society or the cultivation of a virtuous character, of justice, of mercy. These were concepts that, while important in their own right, were not the focus of Machiavelli's work. He was more interested in the practicalities of ruling, not in the traditional sense. He did not dismiss these virtues entirely, but rather place them in a context where they could be used strategically. Instead, it offered a starkly realistic view: how to acquire power, how to maintain it. Machiavelli's insights were drawn from his keen observations of the political landscape of Renaissance Italy, a time and place rife with intrigue and power struggles. Machiavelli laid bare the mechanics. He dissected the actions and decisions of rulers, revealing the often harsh and unpalatable truths about governance. He argued that a prince must be practical. Pragmatism, he believed, was the cornerstone of effective leadership. Morality, while admirable in private life, could be a fatal weakness in a ruler. A leader who adhered too strictly to moral principles might find themselves outmaneuvered by more ruthless opponents. The state's survival was paramount. Above all else, the stability and security of the state had to be preserved, even if it meant making morally dubious decisions. He famously discussed whether it is better for a prince to be a lion or a fox. This metaphor encapsulated his belief in the dual nature of effective leadership. The lion, strong and fearsome, can frighten wolves. It represents the raw power and strength that a ruler must sometimes display. But the lion is easily trapped. Strength alone is not enough. It can lead to vulnerability, if not tempered with cunning. The fox, cunning and agile, can avoid traps. It symbolizes the intelligence and strategic thinking necessary to navigate the complexities of political life. But the fox cannot frighten wolves. Cunning without strength can lead to a lack of respect and authority. A wise prince, Machiavelli urged, must be both. He must balance the qualities of the lion and the fox to be an effective ruler. He must possess the strength of the lion. This strength is necessary to command respect and maintain order, and the cunning, the deceptiveness of the fox. This cunning allows a ruler to outwit adversaries and navigate the treacherous waters of politics, to navigate the treacherous world of politics. The political arena is fraught with danger and deception, and only those who can master both strength and cunning can hope to succeed. This meant a ruler must sometimes act against faith. Machiavelli's advice was controversial, but it was grounded in the harsh realities of his time. At the core of Machiavelli's thought lies survival. The essence of his philosophy is rooted in the harsh realities of political life, the survival of the state, the prince's primary duty. Above all else, the ruler must ensure the continuity and stability of his realm. All other considerations were secondary. Personal virtues, ethical concerns, and even the welfare of the people could be sacrificed if they threatened the state's existence. If a state falls, what good are its virtues? What value do its cultural achievements hold if they are buried under the rubble of defeat? What good is its morality, its justice? These ideals are rendered meaningless in the face of annihilation. All are lost in the ashes of defeat. The remnants of a once great civilization serve as a stark reminder of the consequences of failure. Therefore, a ruler must be willing to do whatever is necessary to preserve the state. This might mean making difficult, even ruthless decisions, even if those actions are considered cruel or immoral by conventional standards. The end justifies the means in the harsh world of politics. He analyzed the actions of successful rulers and those who failed. He looked for patterns, for universal principles. Machiavelli's observations were meticulous and grounded in reality. He saw that fortune, or played a role. Luck and chance could influence the course of events in unpredictable ways. Like a raging river, it could sweep away all plans. No matter how carefully laid, strategies could be undone by unforeseen circumstances. But skill, ability, manliness, prowess could build dams and dikes. To channel fortune, human ingenuity and strength could mitigate the impact of fortune's whims, to mitigate its destructive power. By preparing and adapting, a ruler could turn potential disasters into manageable challenges. A prince needed both foresight and adaptability, the ability to anticipate future events and the flexibility to respond to them effectively, to master the unpredictable currents of events. Navigating the turbulent waters of political life required a steady hand and a keen mind. This focus on survival was born of experience. Machiavelli's insights were not mere theoretical musings, but hard-earned lessons from the tumultuous world of Renaissance politics. Machiavelli's ideas, though controversial, resonated. They echoed through the halls of power for centuries. Many rulers, consciously or unconsciously, embodied his principles. Consider Cesare Borgia, his contemporary. A man Machiavelli observed with keen interest. Borgia used force, cruelty and deception to build and consolidate his state in Romagna. He was ruthless, efficient. Ultimately he failed, but his methods provided a stark case study. Think of Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor, the unifier of Germany in the 19th century. Bismarck was a master of politics based on practical considerations, not on ideology or ethics. He manipulated nations, provoked wars, all to achieve his goal, a strong, unified Germany. Was he not employing a Machiavellian playbook? The welfare of the state above all else? So who was Niccolò Machiavelli? A name that echoes through the corridors of history, often shrouded in mystery and controversy. Was he, as some claimed, a teacher of evil? A man who reveled in the darker aspects of human nature? A cynical architect of tyranny? Someone who believed that the ends always justify the means, no matter how ruthless? Did his book, The Prince, unleash a dark philosophy upon the world, a guidebook for despots and tyrants, or was he something else entirely? A misunderstood genius whose insights were ahead of his time, a patriot, a pragmatist, a political scientist, someone who saw the world as it was, not as he wished it to be, perhaps the first true political scientist. A pioneer in the study of power and governance, daring to observe and describe the political landscape without flinching from uncomfortable truths. The debate continues. 5 centuries later, his ideas still provoke and challenge us. Some argue he was a profound realist, a man who stripped away the illusions to reveal the core of human behavior. He saw humanity not as it should be, but as it truly is, flawed, self-interested, driven by ambition and fear. He understood that power has its own logic, its own necessities, often harsh, often brutal. His aim was not to corrupt, but to instruct, to prepare rulers for the harsh realities of governance, to help them build stable, enduring states in a world that was anything but stable. His teachings were a guide to navigating the treacherous waters of political power, to understand the complexities and nuances of leadership, to help them build stable, enduring states in a world that was anything but stable, in a world that was anything but stable. Machiavelli's legacy endures, a testament to his profound understanding of the human condition.